Is your magic meter running low? Well, we've got a cure for you. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePauli, and in today's House of Mouse headlines, with Rise of the Resistance making its official debut at Walt Disney World, we also got some big updates on what's ahead. That and so much more, so let's get to it.
Hear the latest news from the Walt Disney Company in today's House of Mouse headlines.
That's right, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is now open at Disney's Hollywood Studios, but it seems you'll need to get up pretty early in the morning if you want to have a chance to ride it. That's because Walt Disney World has been employing a virtual queue system for the attraction, requiring guests to join a boarding group and be paged when it's time to return. Unfortunately, on opening day, these boarding groups were all assigned by 8:30 a.m., and with no standby line, those who weren't able to reserve a spot were out of luck. Additionally, since the ride is technically intensive, operations have been experiencing downtimes that have limited the number of groups Disney is able to accommodate each day. The good news is that the ride has been getting rave reviews from fans, making West Coasters even more anxious for the ride to debut at Disneyland on January 17th. I personally am trying to avoid too many spoilers, as I want to experience it fully the first time I get to ride it in Disneyland Park this January. Also arriving with Rise of the Resistance at Walt Disney World are some flying X-Wing drones that were first seen during the grand opening dedication ceremony. Disney has been coupling their flight with a short show featuring Resistance fighters as they prep their new recruits, aka guests. It's currently unclear if these performances will become a regular staple of the land, but it's nice to see that Disney has extended these appearances beyond just the media event. In other Star Wars-related Disney Park news, it was confirmed this week that Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser is slated to open in 2021. Known to most casual fans as the Star Wars Hotel, this cruise-style experience promises a round-the-clock, fully immersive two-night adventure that will of course include a port day on Batuu. If that sounds appealing to you, then be sure to visit StarWarsGalacticStarCruiser.com to sign up for future updates. Back at Disney's Hollywood Studios, it was revealed that the new Mickey Shorts Theater will open in March of 2020. What's more, the attraction will feature an original short and will include a special photo location. In the meantime, you can catch more Mickey Shorts on Disney Channel or Disney+. Speaking of Mickey Mouse, also coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios in the new year is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Disney has announced that this so-called 2.5D ride will officially open on March 4th. This will be the first Disney ride-through attraction featuring the iconic duo, and will draw guests inside a Mickey cartoon for a fun-filled adventure where anything can happen. If you can't make it to the East Coast for a while, don't worry, a version of the attraction is set to arrive in Disneyland's Toontown in 2022. Moving over to Epcot, we've known for a while that the park's Canada Pavilion would be getting an updated version of its Circle Vision film, O Canada. Now we have a few more details, including who will star in the new production. First, replacing Martin Short will be Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy. You probably know the duo from their many roles in Christopher Guest's films like Best in Show, A Mighty Wind, or Waiting for Guffman. Plus, O'Hara provided the voices for Sally and Shock in The Nightmare Before Christmas, while those of a certain age will certainly recognize Levy as Jim's dad in the American Pie films. Canada Far and Wide and Circle Vision 360 will debut at Epcot on January 17th. Also arriving in World Showcase on January 17th is a new Beauty and the Beast sing-along coming to the France Pavilion, and from what we've learned this week, it seems that the fans will be in for an interesting twist. The Disney Parks blog shares that the sing-along will weave in a new storyline, revealing that it was actually LeFou who helped bring Belle and Beast together. If that change doesn't sound like your cup of tea, the fact that Angela Lansbury, who voiced Mrs. Potts in the classic film, will provide narration for the attraction should help sweeten things. As previously announced, this short will share the theater with the long-running Impressions de France, which will receive an upgrade to 4K. You can catch both attractions starting January 17th. Rounding out the trio of films premiering at Epcot next month, Awesome Planet will debut at the Land Pavilion on the 17th as well. This new 10-minute film will occupy the theater that previously housed Circle of Life, an environmental fable, and promises spectacular imagery, in-theater effects, and an original musical score from composer Stephen Price. Awesome Planet will open on January 17th, the same day as Beauty and the Beast Sing-Along, Canada Far and Wide, and the 2020 Epcot International Festival of the Arts. Before we leave Epcot, another exciting piece of news from the park is that a DuckTales attraction is on its way. Now, before you get too excited, we're not talking an e-ticket here or even a ride. Instead, it's been revealed that DuckTales World Showcase Adventure will be replacing what is now Agent P's World Showcase Adventure and was once Kim Possible's Showcase Adventure. Like the current version of the interactive game, guests will be able to participate using the Play Disney Parks app. Once they've been recruited, they'll join Scrooge McDuck, Donald, Huey, Dewey and Louie, Launchpad, and Webby as they search for priceless treasure around World Showcase. No date was provided for when this switchover might occur, but we should have some more information soon. I do find it fairly remarkable that this simple concept, for lack of a better term, has now been around long enough to have numerous iterations. I guess it's more popular than you might initially think. On to movie news. This week, Disney released the latest trailer for its live-action Mulan. This is actually the first new look we've had of the film since a teaser dropped in July. Like with that previous clip, this seems to show a more serious tone than the animated film, which notably means the exclusion of Mushu. Fans seem to be split on this approach, but you can decide for yourself when Mulan opens in theaters March 27th of 2020. If you've listened to the show for any length of time, you surely know that I'm a huge fan of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and star Rick Moranis. That's why I was very excited to see news from The Hollywood Reporter that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids director Joe Johnston is apparently in talks for a reboot starring Josh Gad. Now, if this sounds familiar, it's probably because news of Gad's potential involvement actually broke earlier this year. Plans would call for this film to be set 30 years after the original, with Gad playing a grown-up version of Nick Zielinski, son of Wayne. Surprisingly, it seems that this sequel/reboot would likely see a theatrical release instead of becoming a Disney Plus original like many might have assumed. In any case, here's hoping that this project becomes a reality and that they bring Rick Moranis in for a cameo at the very least. While we're on the subject of Disney Plus, it looks as though a new game show all about Star Wars will be making its way to the streaming platform. Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge will put young contestants right in the middle of the action as they attempt to earn the rank of Jedi Knights. The show will be hosted by actor Ahmed Best, who played the infamous Jar Jar Binks. From lightsabers to hyperspace, the Force, and the dark side, Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge will transport viewers and contestants into the Star Wars galaxy like never before when it debuts on Disney Plus in 2020. In TV news, ABC announced that it will air a primetime special dedicated to Marvel and Disney legend Stan Lee. The hour-long special, titled Celebrating Marvel's Stan Lee, will be hosted by Clark Gregg and will feature never-before-seen interviews, archive footage, and stars of the Marvel Universe sharing their memories of the legendary pop culture icon. The special, which was partially filmed in front of a live audience at the New Amsterdam Theater in New York City, currently the home of Aladdin on Broadway, will air on Friday, December 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And finally this week, the TV Academy Hall of Fame is preparing to induct some new members for 2020. Among them is Disney chairman and CEO Bob Iger, who actually got his start at ABC. Those selected by the Television Academy Hall of Fame Selection Committee to join Iger in the 25th Hall of Fame class include Family Guy creator Seth MacFarlane, Oxygen Media co-founder Geraldine Laybourne, Emmy Award-winning director Jay Sandrich, and Emmy Award, SAG Award, Tony Award, and Honorary Academy Award winner Cicely Tyson. This new class will be honored at the Television Academy's Saban Media Center on January 28th. Now let's get to this week's Twitter poll where I asked you folks, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is now open in Disney's Hollywood studios. Will you be watching spoilers online before you get to experience it in person? Your options were simply yes or no. Now this was a very close race. 49% of you said yes, you will be watching those spoilers, but the winner here is no with 51% of the votes. Do you agree with the results of this Twitter poll? Make your voice heard by following Disney CTC on Twitter and taking part in the Twitter poll every week. That's DIZNEY CTC on Twitter. And folks, it is now December and the year is almost over. So don't forget that the 2020 Disney Coast to Coast calendar is now available for purchase over at DisneyCoastToCoast.com. You can choose between a wall calendar to hang and display or a desk calendar which comes in a case for easy display on your desktop. Either way, you'll be getting a bit of Disney magic to enjoy throughout the entire year. In addition, celebrate the openings of the Disney theme parks as each one's anniversary is notated on the calendar. Head over to DisneyCoastToCoast.com and order yours now. Don't wait until the last minute as 2020 is quickly approaching. Now, this episode of Disney Coast to Coast was produced by Philip Elke, who has supported the show through Patreon. If you'd like to become a DCTC producer or gain other rewards, including early access to episodes, live stream Q&As, and more, information can be found at patreon.com/DisneyCTC. That's patreon.com/DIZNEYCTC. Other than that, folks, have a magical day. Bye!
Thanks for listening to Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Disney Coast to Coast is produced and hosted by Jeff DePauli. Learn more about the podcast and become a supporter at DisneyCoastToCoast.com.